What's up, everybody? It's the G Report checking in. So, Fed Day was yesterday. Jerome Powell decided to leave interest rates unchanged at 4.25 to 4.5%, citing that he still thinks inflation is a major problem and that higher prices are a lagging indicator. So, he expects to see higher prices somewhere down the line in the next month or two. Obviously, President Trump was not happy about that. Trump wants to see interest rates decline. Now, what is the real reason why Trump wants to see interest rates decline? It's not because of your mortgage rates. It's not because of your student loans or because of your credit card, although that would be nice. The real reason he wants to see interest rates decline is because the U.S. government has about $9 trillion in government debt that needs to be refinanced. Now, he fully understands that, if he refinances this debt at 4.25 and 4.5%, there's a good chance that in September, interest rates will be lower. So he would rather refinance the debt at a cheaper rate. That's why he's making a big deal about this. But Jerome Powell says he sees tariffs as a deterrent and he sees it as inflationary, still inflationary, even though we've gotten a couple of reports of a decline in the rate of inflation, right? So how do I feel? Do I think that they should cut rates? Well, I'm torn. About a week and a half ago, I said, yeah, they should cut rates. But with Israel and Iran, I'm kind of iffy. Why? Because I'm looking at the oil market. I track the oil market all the time. And I've seen oil prices go from low 60s to mid 70s in about 4 weeks. Anyone who knows anything about inflation knows high oil prices are the kryptonite to low inflation, right? But on the flip side, we look at the ECB, Europe. The ECB has cut rates about 9-10 times over the last year, where we've cut about 3 times over the last year, and we haven't had any cuts in 2025. And some would presume that the United States is doing better than Europe. Now, what do I think is going to happen? With Jerome Powell stating that he thinks that inflation is a problem, I think in July 9th is a key day. July 9th is the day that all these countries come to America and they negotiate with us in terms of, tariffs, whether we can come to an agreement. I think what Trump's going to do, what this administration is going to do, they're going to tell Scott Bessent, the treasurer, start making deals. Start making deals with these countries. This is just what I think. Start making deals with these countries to take the tariff concern off of Jerome Powell's lap. And so they're going to try to force his hand. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to try to force his hand and see if he bails. Because the next Federal Reserve meeting is July 30th. So July 9th is when these countries have their proposals, and we're going to sit down with them, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to proceed with the tariffs. And then July 30th will be the next Fed meeting. And I think that the message will be, okay, let's see what we can do. Let's see how many agreements we can come to try to get these rates, these interest rates lower. Now, I'm not sure if it'll be 3 weeks will be enough time to convince Jerome Powell. Who knows? But I tell you what, we'll all learn together. G Report checking out.